Hey guys, today we begin with something simple. A tiny white bowl, neatly placed on the nightstand of a cozy little homestay in Austria. You're traveling solo, it's chilly outside, and all you want is to crash into bed after a long day. But there it is, this bowl filled with something you didn't expect. Not mints, not herbal tea bags, pumpkin seeds. You blink. Pumpkin seeds? At first, you think it's just a rustic touch, maybe a quirky snack for jet-lagged travelers. But then, your host, a quiet, silver-haired woman with warm eyes, points at them and says in broken English, "Good sleep, good sugar." She gives you a thumbs up and disappears into the hallway. You're intrigued. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Also, drop a comment letting me know where you're watching from and what time it is there. Are you snacking on something too? Now, let's start looking for things you don't know. You reach for a few seeds and crunch them between your teeth. Mild, nutty, almost buttery, and unexpectedly soothing. That night, you sleep better than you have in days. Coincidence? Maybe. But the next morning, you wake up with the clarity of someone who's just found a clue in a mystery novel. You Google it, and suddenly, you're tumbling into a rabbit hole of studies, ancient traditions, and Reddit threads full of strangers raving about pepitas before bed. Turns out, pumpkin seeds are more than just a topping for your salad. They're like nature's multi-tool, stuffed with things your body quietly craves. Let's start with magnesium. 1 ounce of these little guys packs almost 40% of your daily recommended intake. That matters, especially if your mind races at night. Magnesium helps regulate neurotransmitters that quiet the brain and prepare it for sleep. It also plays a key role in blood sugar control. So maybe the woman wasn't just being cute with her good sleep, good sugar line, maybe she knew something. And then there's tryptophan. That's the same amino acid found in turkey, famous for Thanksgiving food comas. Pumpkin seeds are loaded with it. Your body converts tryptophan into serotonin, your feel-good chemical, and then into melatonin, your sleepy time hormone. All from a seed. No prescription required. Now picture this. You, curled up with a blanket, nibbling on a handful of pumpkin seeds instead of doom-scrolling your way to insomnia. It's not glamorous, but it works. But we're not stopping at sleep, because that same magnesium also supports heart health. It helps regulate blood pressure, keeps your heartbeat steady, and lowers inflammation. And inflammation, as you'll see later, is the sneaky villain behind so many modern problems from fatigue to chronic disease. You begin to wonder, why aren't more people talking about this? The answer might be as simple as packaging. Pumpkin seeds don't scream superfood. They don't come in flashy pouches with green spirals or promise instant glow. They're modest, kind of like the quiet kid in class who turns out to be a genius. And yet, across Europe from Bavaria to Lisbon, more and more people are bringing them back into the evening ritual. A spoonful after dinner, a sprinkle on yogurt. No pressure, just a small, satisfying crunch. Funny thing is, even your blood sugar seems to like them, because these seeds are low on the glycemic index. That means they release energy slowly, without causing a spike and crash. For someone trying to keep energy steady or avoid those 2 a.m. sugar cravings, they're golden, literally, if you toast them right. Plus, they contain zinc, which supports immune function and cell repair. That's your body's overnight maintenance crew. You're beginning to piece things together. This isn't just about a good night's sleep. It's about layering small advantages, nutritional nudges that build toward a more balanced, resilient you. Now imagine you keep a small jar on your own nightstand, not because it's trendy, but because your body remembers how good it feels to drift into sleep naturally. And okay, here's a weird one. Ever noticed how pumpkin seeds kind of resemble tiny shields? No? Just me? Fine. But after what you've learned, it doesn't feel that far off. By now, that bowl of seeds by the bed no longer seems random. It feels intentional, almost like a quiet whisper from generations past saying, This works. Trust it. So you decide to dig deeper. Not metaphorically, you literally pour some seeds into your hand, examine them like a detective. They look unassuming, flat, oval, greenish when shelled. But inside, they're stacked. You're holding a tiny powerhouse of nutrients. Imagine a small apartment stocked with every vitamin and mineral your body has been texting you about, but you've ignored. That's a pumpkin seed. Let's break it down, because curiosity is a great vitamin too. Each seed contains magnesium, zinc, iron, copper, phosphorus, manganese, and healthy fats including omega-3 second. That's not a suggestion. That's a full-blown gift basket. Let's talk healthy fats for a second. These little guys are full of polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fats, the good kind. The please love your heart kind. They help reduce bad cholesterol levels and support your cardiovascular system like a backstage crew you didn't know was there. And then there's fiber. Just 1 ounce of pumpkin seeds gives you nearly 2 grams of it. Not bad for something you can eat by the handful. Fiber helps keep your digestive system humming along. It regulates bowel movements, yes, we're going there, feeds beneficial gut bacteria, and helps you feel full longer. Basically, your gut throws a mini party every time you send pumpkin seeds down the hatch. Here's a fun experiment. Next time you feel snacky but not really hungry, reach for a small handful. You'll be surprised how a few seeds can satisfy both your mouth and your stomach. No regrets, no sugar crash, no late-night fridge confessionals. And guess what else is hiding in there? Plant compounds called antioxidants. Think of them as tiny bodyguards fighting off oxidative stress, reducing inflammation, and neutralizing rogue molecules that mess with your cells. It's like your body's personal security system just got an upgrade. Now here's where it gets even cooler. Pumpkin seeds may support mental health in ways that feel almost too good to be true. But stay with me. Remember magnesium? Besides calming your nervous system, it plays a big role in regulating mood. Several studies, we won't get technical, promise, suggest magnesium deficiency is linked to higher rates of anxiety and depression. Your brain is an organ like any other. It needs nutrients. And pumpkin seeds are like a cozy blanket wrapped in serotonin support. Now imagine a stressful workday, emails piling up, that one coworker who insists on sending voice notes. Your head is spinning, but instead of reaching for your third coffee or sugary snack, you crunch into a few seeds. And with each bite, you're literally feeding your brain what it needs to reset. Also, iron. Yes, that's in there too. Especially for women, iron is crucial. It helps transport oxygen throughout your body, keeps your energy up, and your brain alert. Pumpkin seeds aren't the richest iron source out there, but they contribute. And that's the point. It's not one nutrient doing all the work. It's the orchestra, the way everything works together. And in this symphony of nutrients, zinc is the underappreciated cello. It supports your immune system, helps wounds heal faster, and improves your skin. But what's less known is how it contributes to taste and smell. Ever noticed your food tastes better when your body is in balance? Not always your imagination. Let's rewind to digestive health for a second. Your gut isn't just a tube that processes food. It's a full-blown ecosystem, a second brain, home to trillions of bacteria sending constant messages to your actual brain. The fiber and antioxidants in pumpkin seeds nurture that ecosystem. They feed good bacteria, reduce inflammation, and help regulate blood sugar. So yes, these seeds talk to your gut, and your gut, in turn, whispers to your brain, "We're good." Okay, quick breather. You've just met half a dozen major body systems quietly improved by a snack you once brushed off at the bottom of granola bags. Let's recap. Better sleep through magnesium and tryptophan. Heart health via healthy fats and antioxidants. Digestive support from fiber and plant compounds. Mental clarity and mood support from magnesium, zinc, and iron. Blood sugar regulation by balancing energy release. Immune and skin benefits through zinc and antioxidants. If pumpkin seeds had a resume, you'd hire them. But hold on, there's one more twist. You find out these seeds may even support hormonal balance and reproductive health. And that leads you to a story you weren't expecting, the one with a prostate-shaped clue and a very curious doctor from Prague. And yes, you're going to want to hear it. You're wandering through the winding streets of Prague because, of course you are. That's just where the trail leads. Cobblestone paths, pastel buildings, and tucked between a pharmacy and a coffee shop is a small clinic. You step in, half out of curiosity, half because your left knee's been making suspicious clicking sounds. But inside, you meet Dr. Marek, an easygoing urologist with a sense of humor so dry it could be bottled and sold in sachets. The conversation starts with small talk. Weather, Prague Castle, the price of tea. But somehow, you both land on pumpkin seeds. "Oh yes," he says, folding his hands. "We give them to our grandfathers. For the prostate, you know." You laugh, assuming he's joking. He's not. Turns out, this isn't folklore. In Central Europe, Czech Republic, Slovenia, Austria, pumpkin seeds are part of the traditional dietary approach to support prostate health. And not just the seeds, but their oil too. Cold-pressed, dark, nutty oil that locals drizzle on everything from soup to vanilla ice cream. No joke. Dr. Marek leans in and says, "They're full of phytosterols, very good for reducing inflammation in the prostate. Also helps with urinary flow." He winks. "Men like to sleep through the night too." You chuckle, but your brain starts firing. Phytosterols. These are plant compounds that resemble cholesterol in structure but have anti-inflammatory and immune-modulating effects. In multiple studies, they've been linked to improved prostate health and even lower risk of benign prostatic hyperplasia, aka that annoying thing where the prostate swells and makes men pee 10 times a night. And here's the twist. Pumpkin seed oil seems to work best when taken consistently over time. It's not a magic pill, it's a quiet helper. The friend who always shows up, never makes a fuss, but somehow makes things better. It makes sense. Inflammation is often invisible until it's not, the body's quiet protest. Whether it shows up as joint pain, brain fog, skin issues, or, you guessed it, prostate swelling. But pumpkin seeds aren't just local heroes. They travel well. In your backpack, in your kitchen, into your bloodstream, where they begin to do something remarkable. Lower markers of chronic inflammation. Let's talk anti-inflammatory power for a minute. Remember the antioxidants we touched on? Pumpkin seeds contain vitamin E in multiple forms, along with phenolic acids and flavonoids. These compounds neutralize free radicals and reduce oxidative stress, a major driver of aging and chronic disease. Your body feels it as less stiffness, fewer flare-ups, more ease in your daily movement. And if you've ever had that moment where your body just feels calmer after changing your diet, this is probably part of why. At this point, you're thinking, okay, but is it really that simple? A few seeds a day and my body gets a full tune-up? Well, yes and no. No, because no single food will solve everything. But yes, because when something improves so many systems, sleep, hormones, inflammation, digestion, heart, brain, you'd be silly to ignore it. So you ask Dr. Marek one more question, half joking. Should I eat them in the morning or at night? He pauses. Both, he smiles. But especially at night. Body likes it quiet when it heals. Now that's poetic. You scribble that down because, come on, it's a good line. But it sticks with you later that evening when you find yourself sitting by the Vltava River, watching boats drift under the bridge. You reach into your bag, pull out a paper pouch, and snack on a handful of seeds. You notice the crunch, the calming taste, the weird sense of grounding, and for a second, you imagine all the quiet repairs happening inside you, cells gently rebooting, systems whispering, "Thank you." Even your knees stop clicking, though that might just be the mood talking. Funny, isn't it? The more you learn, the more you realize your body isn't asking for extremes. It doesn't need exotic powders or complicated regimens. It wants rhythm, consistency, things it can count on. And pumpkin seeds? They're consistent, always ready, always small enough to fit in your pocket, and somehow always just enough. You're home now, not just physically, but mentally too. Something shifted after Prague, not dramatically, but in that slow, quiet way you barely notice until one day you do. It starts with a routine. Every evening, about an hour after dinner, you reach for the same small jar. It clinks softly as you twist it open. Inside, pumpkin seeds. Just raw, shelled, a little toasted if you're feeling extra. And now, you eat them deliberately. No phone, no distractions. Just a handful chewed slowly, as if you're letting your body remember something ancient. Because here's what's happened. You've spent a week living out the science, testing the tradition, and somehow, your sleep has changed. It's not just longer, it's deeper. You're no longer waking up at 2:14 a.m. for no reason. Your dreams are back. Weird ones, yes, but vivid. The kind that make you wake up laughing or saying, "Wait, why was I driving a bus made of cheese?" But also, your energy during the day has become steadier. Fewer crashes. Less reliance on coffee. That 3 p.m. slump still visits, but it no longer brings snacks that end in etos. You didn't expect the mental clarity. One morning, you look up from your laptop and realize you've been working for 2 hours straight, no tabs open, no doom scrolling. It hits you how rare that used to be. And sure, maybe pumpkin seeds aren't the only reason, but maybe they're a part of the orchestra, quietly tuning the strings. You keep your journal going, blood sugar levels, more stable. You've been tracking them just out of curiosity, but the results are real. Fewer spikes, smoother curves. Your doctor even raises an eyebrow during your checkup and says, "Whatever you're doing, keep at it." There's also the digestion thing. You know how awkward it is to say, "My gut feels happy," but it does. Less bloating, less weird grumbling at 9 p.m. Things are moving. Let's just leave it at that. By now, you've built a whole little ritual around these seeds. Sometimes you toss them with cinnamon, other times with a pinch of sea salt and olive oil. One brave night, you mix them with dark chocolate chips and dried cherries and declare it bedtime trail mix. It slaps. And as odd as it sounds, this ritual grounds you. Because your evenings used to be frantic. One more email, one more episode, one more thought you couldn't shut off. But now, that handful of seeds signals something. Slow down. Let your body do its work. You've given it the tools. You even go back to reading at night. Not self-help. Not productivity hacks. Just stories. The kind that fill your mind with images instead of blue light. You prop up your feet, crack open your book, and there they are, your seeds in a tiny bowl, like they were waiting for you all along. Funny how food can be that kind of companion. And maybe, just maybe, this is what wellness actually looks like. Not a supplement stack tall enough to crush a squirrel. Not $100 smoothie. But a small, simple habit that helps your body in more ways than you can see. Let's be honest. Life's still messy. Stress still shows up. But now, so does your seed ritual. And it reminds you, your health doesn't need to be a battlefield. Sometimes it's just a bowl of seeds, a good story, and the choice to listen to what your body's been asking for all along. Conclusion: so here you are, at the end of the week, but in many ways, back at the beginning of something better. You didn't overhaul your diet. You didn't meditate on a mountaintop or drink kale through a straw. You just added a handful of pumpkin seeds to your evening. And with it came sleep, softness, steadiness. That's the magic of small things. They go unnoticed at first. But night after night, they build something gentle and strong, like a quiet tide reshaping the shore. Pumpkin seeds won't change your life overnight, but they might change your nights, and that, in turn, changes your days. So maybe tonight, you fill a bowl. Not because you have to, but because now you want to. The lights dim, the world slows, and in the hush of evening, you listen to your body say, This feels good. Goodbye, see you in the next video.